See? I need y'all to check this out, folks. And this is why I'm dropping today why the law is so important. Because it gives us a balance. It gets us back to the foundation God intended so that we can view this world how it is without getting caught up in it. And now through those lenses, starting with God first, we begin to live a better life and still receive the blessings without getting caught up into what? The entanglement and confusion that's done on purpose to keep us confused and to keep us oppressed. Finish reading, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. He also introduced a change in that way of simplicity wherein men lived before, and was the author of measures and weights.
He was the author of measures and weight. He set up the first financial system. Now, eventually, Satan would want this set up to eventually put people in debt. If you're in debt, you become a perpetual servant. I know they cleaned that up in our current society, and there's nothing wrong with working to get to where you need to go. But they changed it from servitude or servants or slaves to employees. That was a PR move. Why? Because it sounds what? More voluntary than it is you serving a master. That was a PR move. That was a PR move to turn it from servant to employee. But there's always been servants in the Bible, even voluntary servitude, so that you can build yourself up, and once you get what you need to get, boom, you can have your own life, your own lifestyle. Like Eleazar was a servant in Abraham's house. But he became rich under Eleazar. And some people decided, listen, I'm going to continue to work in the house because by doing this, I'm becoming rich too. So servitude isn't also always some bad term. What we went through so horrendous is that this slavery was against the laws of God. And you're not supposed to keep a person under servitude past 7 years without having them go out and be able to make something of themselves from what was produced during the time they served. See? There was a law when it comes to an agreement. Oh man, you got a good business? Sure, I'll work under your business. I'll do whatever you need me to do. But I need to know within 7 years, I get enough out of this so that I can get my own. So we had the law of Jubilee, where it was impossible under God's law to keep a person under employment or servitude or slavery for the rest of their lives. That's wrong. But Satan and the synagogue of Satan came up with a new plan. Let's find a way of making people believe that they're not servants. They're not slaves. And let's put them under debt where they're voluntarily staying under us. Therefore, we're not accused under the Torah. That's right. We're not accused under the Torah breaking the rule of Jubilee. We don't have to set them free and let them do their own because they're voluntarily staying. They're voluntarily in debt and they're voluntarily staying at the job. Therefore, according to the Torah, hey, they are in agreement. I need to keep them in debt and keep them in employment without them ever thinking that it's wrong. It's wrong to work someplace so long and not have a piece of that business to go on your own to make right for your family. See? See, these are the pieces that no one is telling you when it comes to the law of God. And while people are attacking the Bible, really, if we instituted some of these rules amongst ourselves, we as a people would begin to grow beyond our current status. We would know that when some politician come to our neighborhood peddling jobs, that's not good enough. No, you didn't tell me how us working at your job transfers to me no longer having to work under you. How we can have our own jobs so that our families, our children, not having to go to college, can have some level of an apprenticeship to grow under so that we can have what? Generational wealth from one generation to the next. So we don't need to hear about jobs. We need to hear about how working there gives us a peace to a degree that we no longer need you. Folks, what I'm talking about is in the Bible. It's in God's law. But you have so many people trying to attack the Bible, they don't see that what's beneficial in it for us. I'm talking about a fix that was in place from the beginning. We're not supposed to be in debt. Christ says, forgive our debt as we forgive our debtors. Well, what does that mean? And that's why Christians better read that Old Testament. Christ knew that according to the law, man is not supposed to be in debt or owe anyone anything. That after 7 years, you're free from debt. Because this is how debt puts people in servitude or slavery. And then on top of that, it gives a realization, it gives people a real life barometer on what they can actually get or cannot get. It shows you where you are truly. And I need y'all to think about that. If I got to get credit to get something, can I really afford that? But if I don't have credit, I'll really understand the position I'm really in and will work my way and become better for it. If you can get something without actually working for it, that takes away the experience to become better. That's a system they set up. But if you can work and be able to say, here's the cash for this, right? You went through the life experiences to get you to that point. And now you're free. Not only with what you purchased, you also have the experience now to grow beyond servant. Everything I'm telling you, folks, is in God's law. It's what makes it, with the law, it can make a poor man rich overnight. Because you know where you are. So you become disciplined and say, I'm not going to get that car. I can't afford that car. But I'm going to get this car. It's not as shiny, it's not as great, but I can afford this. And that gives me what? Room to grow without being in debt with someone, under someone. He's my master. Now I got to look out the window because I just lost my job and wonder if someone is going to come pick up my car. See? How do a poor man get rich? With discipline. He understands where he is because it's not credit, it's what you can afford, and you grow and grow and grow to that point and get the experience. And then if you want to use debt or whatever the case is, in a system, you know how to operate with it. That's right. To benefit you. It's all in the law, knowing that what? Owing someone is temporal. But guess what? Only a certain people in this earth right now exercise what I'm talking about right now. And the only reason they're able to exercise it, because they're the only ones willing to say that the Torah and the Tanakh belongs to God. And it's your fault for not following it. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.